Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to game number 3 between Team Russia and Team ESPADA in the WESG qualifiers for the Russian region. We are now in our third game, Team Russia having taken ESPADA to task in the previous two iterations quite handedly and making it look easy, I gotta say. Well, not easy, but you know what I mean by easy, making it look effortless. Like they could have done this any given day. Like, oh, we're just out here being amazing, you know? And we do see Team Russia now with the tournament points. They win this and they are the Russian representatives towards WESG. Big prize up for grabs for them. So we'll be seeing what transpires in their direction. I'm Snare. Thanks for being here today for these qualifiers. And we'll see what happens in this third and potentially final game between Team ESPADA and Team Russia. Team ESPADA going for something a little bit different right now. Going for more lane domination, it seems. They have the Weaver, the Undying, have an Assassin and the Weaver, the Undying counter in the Weaver themselves. And they have the Rubik as well, which can be really great up against a Bane Elemental. Even up against Winter Wyvern. Great spells to steal all around, actually, for the Rubik. The only thing that you don't really want is the Double Edge from the Centaur. Besides that, everything else is fair game right now for this Rubik. So he's going to be having an amazing game. We should be looking towards immersion to see what he does on this ESPADA team with this Rubik. Russia have banned out the Morphling Enigma, Wisp, Tiny, as well as the Bounty Hunter. ESPADA have removed the Mag, Ursa, Silencer, PL, as well as the Storm Spirit. So PL ban just has to happen when you're playing Weaver. And when you're playing Undying as well. It's not fun playing Undying versus PL. But I guess they just want to give Ramses that hero after seeing what he can pull off. So he will be forced, Ramses will at least will be playing something different. Pasha's already played Centaur. Whether it be Solo or Roger, I suspect Roger have already played the Winter Wyvern. Bane is new. We haven't seen Weaver today, and we have seen already the Undying on the side of Team Russia in game number 2. Solo was handling that hero. So they really do have options right now on the side of Team ESPADA. TB. Ugh. With the PL being banned out, you do pick the Terrorblade now. So that's going to be their illusion hero for the side of Team Russia. Man, maybe ESPADA are regretting having banned the TB. Or having banned the PL. And they don't have any wave clear right now. Not really anyway. They have what? Fade Bolt. And Weaver has will probably buy Maelstrom, and I suppose the Decay would allow them to see which Terrorblade is the real one. But at times like this where you want to really pick a hero like the Brewmaster. Like if they're able to actually get off the Brewmaster split in the midst of these team fights, can actually be really consequential. Can cancel out ultimates from Bane, can isolate the real Terrorblade. When heroes use the Stampede to try and get away from any given engagement, you can keep that one particular hero isolated long enough for you to take the fight. They go for this Pugna. I don't really like this Pugna in this kind of situation. Their draft is right now really squishy. If anybody finds themselves getting stunned, they will probably die. And Pugna doesn't really have the ability like the Weaver to get himself out of trouble using the Sakuchi or the Time-Lapse. There's so many ways to deal with this Pugna. There's a Nightmare or Fiend's Grip from Bane to slow him down. You have the Splinter Blast from the Winter Wyvern, which, you know, slows him down again. You have the Stomp to stun him, a Burst magical damage spell, and the Double Edge. And you have the Terrorblade as well, who can just, you know, out-right click you. And or it can push, not necessarily as quickly as the Terrorblade without the risk attendance to the Pugna. But TB is no slouch when it comes to bringing down buildings in his own right. I don't know, unless this Pugna should go mid, right? I would hate if this was a side lane Pugna. I think they still need a teamfight initiator for themselves. I'm not sure they would have picked a hero like the Necrophos. But right now, how do they start fights? Their reach is really bad. The only options they have to get onto their backlines is Weaver running through with Sakuchi. But they have no one to force an engagement on their terms. No Enigma yet, no Tiny yet, no Brewmaster, nothing like that. So we have to see what they actually reach for at the very end of this draft. They banned Broodmother. Broodmother. You know what, oddly, I would actually like? I would actually really like a Pangolier. An early Blinked Pangolier, I think, could really wreak havoc on the team of Team Russia. That being said, Winter's Curse can be really good against Rolling Thunder as an immediate counter. The same goes for the Fiend's Grip. So perhaps that's not really the goal right now for ESPADA. They still need to pick though, right? And we're definitely going to see where this Pugna's going, mid or off lane. If it's not indeed a mid Pugna, then they need a hero which takes over the game if given the mid role. Something like Medusa or something. But right now, they don't have anybody that buys Blink Dagger. And I've always felt that if you don't have a hero on your team that buys Blink, it's much more difficult to win the game. Thinking very carefully about their final pick here. They go Ember. Okay, so it's going to be an offlane Pugna. Ember Spirit can take over the game. Can be a hero that can make life very difficult for the Terrorblade. You can buy the Lincoln Sphere to block away the Sunder at various points in the game. There's not that much lockdown that can affect the Ember Spirit before he's able to get the zip away. If he's playing consciously about the game, he should be able to consistently get escapes off. And the Injoker is the last pick for Team Russia. Is this Quas-Wex Invoker? Is this Quas-Wex or Quas-Exort? If it's Quas-Wex Invoker, man, this game becomes especially difficult for the Ember Spirit. The Tornado gets dispelled. It gets the dispel off onto the Flame Guard for Ember. The Tornado and Cold Snap combination is also amazing versus Pugna. Weaver can find himself having no mana to be able to use any of his spells. I'm going all in. Team Russia for me has a much better draft here. I still think that ESPADA, Ember Spirit does solve some of their problems in the sense that this is a hero that can jump in on the fight, buy a Blink Dagger, get onto the supports on the backside. But this is such a dangerous game for Ember Spirit. Without any items, or without playing exceptionally carefully, if you get caught out even a single time, you will die. It's guaranteed that you're gonna die in those circumstances. So right now, ILTW will be taking a lot of risks on this Ember Spirit, hoping that he doesn't get Fiend's Gripped, doesn't get Hoof Stomped, doesn't get EMP'd, doesn't get Cold Snapped, doesn't get Winter's Cursed, always has a Remnant available for himself. The same applies for this Pugna, as well as this Weaver too. If anybody gets stunned, they just die. This is such a complicated game for them to play. Whereas Russia, they have some save potential through the Nightmare, as well as the Cold Embrace from the Winter Wyvern. They've got the Stampede too from 9 Pasha. The Invoker has Ghost Walk for himself, so they'll have to constantly keep Reveal available if they want to try and bring him down consistently. And there's still Sunder available for the Terrorblade. Right now, this game not at all seeming like it's going to go the way of Team ESPADA, but we shall see in the final grab, the final game, this final situation, the final chance they have. If they are going to still make a run into WESG, this is the only game that counts. So let's see what they're able to bring to the fore. The challengers, Team ESPADA, will be playing BZZ as perfect on this Weaver. Behind them will be Immersion on the Rubik. Towards the other side of the map, in the mid lane, Nyx will be going on this Pugna. Misha is going to be the support Undying for his team. And last but not least, ILTW handling the Ember Spirit. I guess there's a lot of pressure on Misha to ensure that he's able to keep 9 Pasha at bay as much as Solo was able to keep BZZ at bay on the Centaur. We've seen the potential of this counter. Although the safe lane hero in question, it's a lot more difficult to do so when your partner is Ember Spirit rather than the Morphling. But we'll see what they're able to bring to us. And we'll see how Pasha is able to adjust to this particular matchup, playing the Centaur for the second time in this best of 5 series. Solo will be running around on the Bane Elemental. This is a classic pickup. Solo Bane. Classic, classic, classic. In the mid lane, we do have FO Ninja on the Invoker himself. Ramses 666 playing on the Terrorblade. And last but not least, we do have Roger replaying the Winter Wyvern. He does have sentries, so if he realizes that this camp is blocked, should try and get off the D-ward. He has 2 sentries as well, so there's no chance that he misses this entirely. But they'll waste the time a little bit, I guess. Unless he goes to try and D-ward right now. Let's see. No, he's not. He's still going to be chilled. 2-2 bounty rune trade, average times. And we're going to see this early laning phase getting underway. BZZ shouldn't be stopped from farming here at bottom. Ramsey will probably go for that level 1 metamorphosis just to ensure he gets off the entirety of the first full wave. But overall, this matchup should be acceptable for both sides here. Both heroes should be able to farm. Immersion is going to be a bit annoying with the Fade Bolt, but that's really about it. And Roger will throw out some right clicks and some Splinter Blasts, but not much more than that should happen here. Top lane, Misha will just be trying to complicate Pasha's life with decay stacks. And he knows that because of this decay, he's too tanky to die right now. LTW with the Flame Guard. Just trying to ensure that Pasha doesn't come too close to where Misha is. And LTW is just consistently farming here. Because Misha, man, yo! Pasha lost so much strength right now. And Misha's hitting super hard. But everything is still going fine. This mid lane matchup does favor the Pugna somewhat, but Invoker doesn't die here either. Because Pugna can just like decrypt and farm with the Nether Blast. But Invoker should never die. He is going for that Quasu Exploit, which is 100% correct for this game, I believe. And as a result, he'll always have some Quas Orbs to regen up his HP. Should never fall truly low. And it'll be okay at pretty much all stages. Nightmare now from the Bane onto Ember Spirit. ILTW in a little bit of trouble. The double edge will be there, and Pasha will draw the first blood by bringing down this Ember Spirit. Undying leaves the lane for 1 second, trying to drag back some creeps behind the tier 1 tower of the enemy team. So she's going to deny himself, TP back out. That's huge. Centaur not going to be shut down nearly as hard as in game number 2 when it was being played by the side of ESPADA. Now ILTW will be forced to reckon with the prospect of a Centaur whom he can't really approach. Now it's even worse. ILTW do have the CS lead advantage on all of their heroes at the moment. Even at bottom where Ramses is tied up with the BZZ's Perfect Weaver. This is a classic. This guy, when he used to play on teams like Rockskiss, earlier iterations of Virtus Pro, he used to be a Weaver spammer. So one of his best core heroes. Of course, this was back in the day when he was playing the hard carry for his team. Now, in the offlane, with this Weaver, should still be able to make good inroads for his squad. But that puts a lot of pressure again onto ILTW. The Nightmare is at top, onto Undying. Misha is going to be in a lot of trouble. The double edge will be there as well as the Nightmare with the drag back from the Brain Sap. Pasha though, forced to run away. Misha, one more right click, should be able to get the kill onto him. Solo looking for the distance, looking to get him through the fog, but Misha juking him, and there's still going to be the decay. The wand made use of with the Brain Sap gets the kill for Solo. And now Nightmare does come out onto our ILTW Ember Spirit. He does get Nightmare too. Double Edge is going to be available. So Hoof Stomp, Nightmare with Double Edge. They do get the kill. Misha does turn up with the decay into Soul Rip and finds a grab onto Solo. But yet again, the side of Team Russia. That's their first death. Bottom though, Ramsey is now in trouble. The bug is onto him from the Weaver. Weaver wants to chase him behind the trees, but Sakuchi not going to be available for another 4 seconds. So they can't get the chase into the trees, and Ramses with the salve will be able to come back. Happily farm away with Metamorphosis. It should be okay. A-okay in this situation. Team Russia grabbing a solid early lead in terms of the overall kills. Have a little bit of a goal advantage for themselves. What they lack, though, is a CS advantage across the board. They might lose Roger here. He's going to get lifted back into a bad position. He doesn't have Cold Embrace. One more right click should kill him. But ESPADA almost lost. BZZ is perfect. He will be forced to use a salve. And at the same time, they do lose... But who else died, actually? Misha died. Okay. Misha was the one that died on the other side of the map. Solo's stealing some bounties. At the same time, his counterparts, Immersion, doing the same on the Rubik. So bounty runes, you know, propping up some extra gold. This is actually very atypical. The Rubik would use the Solo Shrine. It's very strange. Especially when there's a hero like the Weaver in the game. Because Weaver often will just spend all of his... Okay, mid lane, hold that thought. We do have a Nightmare coming out with the Mana Burn onto next. The Pugna, very low on HP. Cold Snap will be there. And Afro Ninja, with help from his two supports, secures the kill onto the enemy mid laner. This seems like deja vu from game 1, where this kept happening consistently. Nyx supports need to come help him out as well versus Afro Ninja. Afro Ninja is not having fun. Was having a great time here now. Not having fun in the overall CS battle versus the Pugna, given the Decrypt Blast combination, which you can't do much about. But able to find an early kill here, thanks to his supports rotating in to help him. Immersion is being very annoying with this Fade Bolt. Terribly doesn't do all that much right click damage when he has, you know, minus 25 on him. Feels bad. Does a lot now though, because he has a huge agi gain. Huge, huge, huge. Are they going to potentially try and kill him? They're just zoning him back. They've already got some sentries out. Although one of them got dewarded. Oh yeah, and earlier on we do see that they did indeed find the earlier sentry that was blocking this pull camp. Roger, with the double sentries, was able to make that happen. Speaking of, Roger's in the mid lane now with the Splinter Blast and the Cold Snap onto Nyx. Nyx is going to find himself getting tornadoed up. That will cancel away the Decrypt. He's falling low. The life drain will be there onto a creep. Splinter Blast still does come out. Immersion with the lift back. There will be a blast from the Pugna. And Roger now in some kind of trouble. He's falling very low. 32 HP. One more right click will kill him. Cold Embrace does come out, keeping him alive for the time being, but the Nether Blast will still bring him down. Tombstone at the top side of the map though. Another fight breaking out. Misha has laid that out. Double Edge will be there to almost kill him. There will be Searing Chains from ILTW, which will secure a kill onto the Beta Elemental. Solo can't get the grab onto Misha. The Stampede does come out. There will be a Hoof Stomp, but because of the Flame Guard, Pasha not confident about making use of the Double Edge to follow that up with. Roger is here though, does have Splinter Blast, throws it forward, but ILTW is not close enough to get caught out and will be able to keep himself alive. Does escape that situation. Impressive play, the top side of the map for the side of ESPADA. Just on both sides. First, the rotation from Immersion and Nyx playing quite well. Keep the Pugna alive in the mid lane. Get them a free kill onto the Winter Wyvern. And simultaneously, Misha is able to secure a kill onto the Bane Elemental. So both supports do find themselves getting brought down. Speaking of supports, Immersion at mid trying to get a grab onto Afro Ninja with the lift from the Rubik. Unfortunately, not enough damage is available from the Pugna. I suspect because he didn't have the Drain. If he had Drain, maybe.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But Afro Ninja will just go Shrine. And then can perhaps move towards the bottom side of the map where Solo can set up for a kill with a Nightmare. He might actually have a Tome of Knowledge coming on the courier to give him level 6. Okay, he only has sentries. But once he hits 6, he should rotate middle almost immediately to help secure a kill onto this Pugna, who's doing quite well actually. Has a lot of CS, is the highest overall leader of net worth for his team. 9 Pasha is actually the net worth leader of the game though. That is somewhat bizarre, given that his lane is against an Undying. But again, Ember Spirit cannot really do too much here on the top side of the map. Being severely outstripped in overall CS. He's died twice in this game already. And he's having basically a... Like this Ember Spirit being played by a different person, but having a similar set of problems as we saw in game 1. Stampede now will go out. They want to try find this kill before he has level 6. Misha will find himself being hoof stomped. They're just going to take down this Tombstone very quickly on. Misha maybe turning his attention towards the Centaur. But ILTW will also find himself getting splinter blasted back, so he's not going to run forward to get off those steering chains. Erstwhile at bottom, Solo is getting chased a little bit by BZZ is perfect, who activates a DD rune now. Immersion trying to close the gap so he can get off the Rubik lift. BZZ, they won't be able to close this gap, so unfortunately the telekinesis only level 2 at the moment. And with no Aether Lens available for the Rubik, they are unable to ensure that gets a kill. ILTW is going to look for the Bantu in the top, but it's going to get zoned back. Tornado will be there after the cold snap, and as well as an EMP, they should be able to find this kill. ILTW still doesn't have level 6. Oh my goodness, 12 HP. Ember Spirit survives into the trees, and he's going to be A-okay. And now BZZ is perfect will turn up. Still that self-same DD rune that he popped on the bottom side of the map. We do see the Pugna life drain going out onto Solo right now. Nyx able to also find a kill. So both supports do go down. ESPADA, with the exception of ILTW, other two cores having the best start of this series thus far. Weaver tying up evenly with this Terrorblade at the moment. You know, I think if they'd actually put Weaver... Oh, they lose Rubik now. Speaking of this Weaver, top lane, he wants to try and find a kill onto BZZ. Pasha able to get the grab or run away. The Nightmare is there, down onto the Weaver though. Will they be able to get the hoof stop off? The double edge will be there. Is all they need. They do get his dominating spree ended by ILTW, who finds the steering chains directly onto the Bane Elemental. Brain Sap online in 7 seconds. The triple remnant forward. It's going to be a double kill for ILTW. That is completely worth it for the side of ESPADA. Sure, they lose the Weaver. A lot of gold on him. However, this Ember Spirit has been doing very poorly this game. So them being able to get that is definitely a boon for their side. Bottom lane, we do see Immersion bring down Roger. Having stolen Splinter Blast in the interim, which is actually pretty decent against the Terrorblade. But look at that suddenly. ILTW was their lowest net worth core. Suddenly, he is the same net worth almost as the Centaur Warrunner. 2 massive kills for them to get on the side of Team ESPADA. We'll see a smoke now. VP will try head towards the mid lane. So Team Russia want to try find a fight. Get some counter punch. Get Afoninja to get some earn charges for himself. Seems like ESPADA want nothing to do with this. They have the one observer ward, but that's not even where they smoked from. But good game sense coming in from ESPADA to be like, let's get somewhere safe. We don't see anybody showing on the map right now. BZZ is pretty strong at the moment. At the very least, he's hard to kill with this regen rune. So let us put pressure onto the tier 1 tower. We can use Nyx's Nether Blast in order to try and push onto the tower. Misha's going to TP towards mid to tank the gag for his team. So he should die here. Will he get off the tombstone? Yes, he does. But the tombstone will get brought down very quickly thereafter. And they should just trade tier 1s. But they're going to back away from the bottom push. Aethernet is available for the Pugna. And he can make use of this Nether Blast. But they seemingly do not want to take the risk. He's going to stay here while the rest of his team goes middle. BZZ is perfect. Running forward. Looking for the deny. He gets it. BZZ 633. What a player. And enables his team to get a straight up tower down at bottom. Very good plays right now from the side of Team ESPADA. They do end up losing the top tier 1 though. And unfortunately, there's nowhere else that they're playing on the map that they can get a reprisal off of that. But still, that was pretty cool though. That was pretty great. Do you see now, middle. Tier 1 tower. Might be sieged again, ESPADA. Have Fade bolted away a Terrorblade Illusion. So the side of Team Russia know that something is awry and something is going down. Afoninja does have 2 earn charges now, so potentially wants to get involved in an upcoming fight. The Stampede does come out. There will be a Nightmare with the Fiend's Grip going out directly onto Nyx. Nyx falling very low. He will not die just yet. The Winter's Curse on the backside of the fight will enable them to get the kill onto Immersion too. Misha is dead as well. Both supports have gone down. BZZ is perfect. Maybe looking to get 1 kill onto Roger, but not going to be able to do so. Roger, once again, this Winter Waven in this series, guys. Winter Waven in this series has just been incredible. Well, after that fight, Team Russia definitely looking to be in the driver's seat. They're going to secure these top boundary rules, but a fight's going to be here. Pasha does not have Stampede for the time being. Immersion does have Rubik left. Afro Ninja gets off the cold snap onto BZZ is perfect. Who gets the boundary rule? The boundary rule does go the way of the Invoker. Now the double edge with the hoof stomp brings down the Rubik. All the life drain onto Invoker is able to get that grab over kill. The tombstone dropped down by Misha. They want to keep the chase going onto the high ground, but perhaps not. And look at Ramses microwing illusions to bring down the tombstone on the back line of the fight. Pretty amazing play from our Ramses superstar here. Nether blast onto Roger. Roger might die from the zip forward from the Ember Spirit, but he doesn't want to use his remnant right now. Doesn't know where anybody is. Pasha just bought Blink Dagger, so they rather will just back themselves away. Having already claimed Afro Ninja, why try to get more than something already amazing? It looks like Team Russia now though. Now want to get revenge of their own. They have a smoke that they've used onto Pasha. They want to reveal this Blink Dagger ASAP. BZZ is perfect. Thanks to this Observer Ward, they pop the smoke and the Bane Elemental is able to get away ASAP. Misha should still be the one that gets hoof stomped. Will be a double edge too. They don't have enough damage as of yet to get this kill. They pop the Stampede. They want to run forward. ILTW might be the one that gets made use, that they get the kill on forward. Immersion steals Stampede. That should not be happening. BZZ is perfect. Also gets off the Swarm Bugs onto 3 heroes before time-lapsing back. ILTW wants to jump forward. There's going to be the Stampede made use of by them. Nightmare onto Solo, onto himself to keep himself alive. Winter's Curse will be able to stun up onto ILTW for the time being. iPhone Ninja on the backside of the fight will get blasted down by Pugna and the boys. On the farther side of the fight, they are able to get this kill onto BZZ is perfect. The steering chains onto Pasha, hoof stomp. Not going to be available, but there will be a Fiend's Whip going out onto Misha. Misha falling very low right now, hasn't lost his life as of yet. Here comes Ramses getting involved in this fight, bringing down Misha on the Undying. 2 for 2 thus far. Core and support for core and support. They will pop the smoke. That was a mistake. ILTW going forward. They're all trying to get a kill onto Pasha. Pasha, the Nightmare saves him for the time being, but it's not going to save him forever because Nyx is there with the Nether Blast and the Flame God is still going for ILTW. He does have steering chains in 3 seconds. Doesn't want to take the risk, so they will back away. TP out onto Nyx. They already secured the tier 1 tower. Pretty huge fight for the side of ESPADA actually. And a lot of those proceeds going the way of ILTW once again. Seems like, I think they're definitely recovered. Can now provide the space that his team desperately needs. This early Maelstrom, it's not going to be like game 1, where he found the Maelstrom at like 20 something minutes. Now he's going to have the full phase boots, or the full power trades with Aquila, Bottle and Maelstrom at the 18.5 minute mark at worst. Well, unless they die now though, they're going on an adventure. They've smoked. I think that was, they might have scouted out the smoke dust heading out onto the Observer Ward, but we'll see. This fight gonna get very dangerous right now. Stampede will be there. The lift back onto Solo. Solo will be gone. And ILTW now looking towards bringing down Roger. The steering chains will catch out the Winter Waven and the bugs will provide the vision that they need. The Winter's Curse will stun up at least onto BZZ, but it's not going to be enough to keep anybody else alive. And Immersion will use the Fade Ball to secure himself a double kill, bringing down the Winter Waven. This will also enable them to pick up this tier 2 tower at bottom. Nyx with the max Nether Blast as well as his Aether Lens, putting the screws onto the tower. Terrorblade Illusions are putting some damage out on top, but not nearly the same as what we see happening in the bottom side of the map. And Team ESPADA will be able to grab this tier 2 tower, making this game definitely more interesting than the previous 2 that we've seen thus far. What is concerning though is that whilst Alpha Ninja is the lowest overall worth of ESPADA top, Nick's going to be in trouble. The Spirit Vessel out onto him, but the TPs as well as the presence of this Nether Ward dissuades the rest of Team Russia, or specifically dissuades Ramses for trying to jump into that situation. But Ramses is still overall top net worth in this game. Ember Spirit does have Maelstrom now though, so they need to try and find a couple of fights, make use of the potential for Chain Lightning to come out. Steering Chains cooling down in a couple more seconds. Already made use of the triple remnant forward. ILTW, the Tornado will not connect onto him. Oh, but the Hoof Stomp will, catching 2 heroes. Misha's already dropped down the tombstone. Here comes Ramses. Fiend's Grip going out onto the Weaver on the backside of the fight. BZZ is perfect. Gonna be suffering some damage. The double edge will be there from Pasha to secure that kill. So the Fiend's Grip doing more than enough work Solo, ensuring that they get the grab onto the Weaver. They have made use of this Metamorph. I don't think they have the ability to take Roshi yet. It's kind of risky right now. Misha might die though. If he gets spotted by Pasha, comes close enough for a double edge, that'll happen. Pasha just wants the bouncy roots though. Top though, Ramses, Sunder onto Immersion. Immersion will find himself getting Winter's Curse, which will also keep Nyx into a very dangerous situation. And the damage from this TP Tornado will cancel out the Decrypt TP attempt. And will just immediately secure the next bounty rune. That's 3 heroes that die all across the map. Unfortunately now, the Metamorph will end, so there's absolutely no chance for a Roche. Where there was little, there is none now. But man, TB heading in towards this BKB after the Manta style, playing very safe. No need to be taking any risks. Mid lane, we will see ILTW getting himself brought down. The Brain Sap from Solo. Enough to get the kill. And what's stolen now? They do steal the Brain Sap. Hoofstomp firing forward from Ramsey Pasha with the Centaur. And they even steal away the kill onto this Tombstone. The Hoofstomp will not even be needed onto Misha after the Stampede is made use of. Misha does still secure a killing spree for himself. Just cold snap Stampede, that easy. Roger flying away from BZZ is perfect. BZZ does have his Maelstrom now as well. So if there was a proc on the Chain Lightning, Roger would probably be dead right now. Fortunately for him, there was not. But look how low this tier 2 tower is suddenly. 5k gold lead, experience, almost 7,500 in favor of the side of Team Russia. And things were looking, I wouldn't say amazing, but things were looking solid for Team ESPADA. And then, one or two things go awry. Your support suddenly start getting picked off everywhere across the map. Undying is all of a sudden a next to useless hero. Dies very quickly in these fights. Oh, don't smoke under the ward, don't smoke under the ward. Okay, they're fine, they're cool. And don't smoke middle as well. They're gonna smoke middle, aren't they? Okay, they're not. Okay, at least. Afro Ninja, now that he has a Spirit Vessel, can start building BKB. He's still the lowest net worth core in this game. But they don't need him for that much. He doesn't need to carry this game whatsoever. Oh, he cancels the smoke. He does get lifted, tossed back. They're going to try and find this grab onto him. He is invis right now, but he's coming out of it. The Stampede will be there to keep him alive for a little bit longer. EMP dropped down behind him onto the next assassin. Ember Spirit zips forward. They get a full big Winter's Curse that catches out and Undying and will allow Afro Ninja to escape. No, it will not. The Fade Bolt coming in from Immersion does secure the kill onto our Invoker. Tier 2 tower in the mid lane though does get removed by Ramsey. So that's the trade that they made at the end of the day. And it is going to be ESPADA. Not done just yet. Let's see if they want this action onto Ramses. ILTW does have steering chains, makes use of it. They're going to put out the damage. BKB will be used. The Thunder does come out and Ramses still alive. And looks like the fight will be over for now in Team ESPADA. Do get a huge kill on the top side of the map. Get out more or less scot-free. And this will allow them to keep trying to scale onto ILTW as well as BZZ is perfect to win this game further. ILTW now. Blink Dagger queued up. He's almost there. Almost there. He picks this up. He's able to be much more effective. Because right now he's being forced to use his remnants to both enter and exit the fights. However, if you have Blink Dagger, at least one of those avenues is covered in advance. And I'm also interested in the fact that he wait for this plus 25 damage. I guess that he's thinking that if I'm using Slide of Fist onto these Terrorblade illusions, the additional damage procs even more. But I kind of feel like they need the burst damage that the Fire Remnant Flame God Absorption would provide. But they need the survivability rather. But it's not that big a deal. He also needs to be able to punch in these fights, so he's playing to win, not playing not to lose, which is always a stratagem that I like seeing employed by teams. And top, Ramses might be in trouble here. He has 8 seconds until his TP is available. Immersion Spots him right now. This is the stolen Ghost Walk that he's using. Can they get the lift off? Do they have the damage to kill this Terrorblade? They lift him, toss him back. Stampede will be used. There will be a Tombstone being made use of the forefront of the fight. No Hoofstomp on the back though. Pasha is able to find the kill onto Nyx very early on. The huge steering chains coming in from LTW, but there will be a Winter's Curse from Roger. Roger's still alive for the time being, running away with the Glimmer Cape, keeping him on tap. LTW finds 2 heroes, both in the Centaur as well as the Invoker with the steering chains. Thus far, it looks like the only casualty of this fight is going... Oh wait, hold that thought. The Hoofstomp coming in on directly onto BZZ is perfect. 63 will die. No ability for him to be able to make use of the time-lapse. Immersion. Dodging the tornado. No, he does not. Gets caught with it. And the Spirit Vessel as well. Doesn't have the lift. Will just run away. Keep them busy on himself so that the rest of his team is able to escape. A buyback onto both Weaver as well as the Rubik. They get the kill onto Misha as well, who's unable to really provide too much in this fight. ILTW has come back into this, blinks forward now. They get the steering chains off directly out onto Afro Ninja. Afro Ninja will fall low. ILTW should be able to find this kill, but Pasha finds the stun onto 2, brings down Immersion. That's a dieback on the Rubik. It might be a dieback onto the ESPADA Ember Spirit as well. No, he survives thanks to the Shrine being popped. BZZ is perfect. Now wants the action onto Ramses. Ramses doesn't have Sunder for quite some time. Nyx getting the drain off onto Ramses. Ramses 10 more seconds until he has us. BKB will be made use of by him, but BZZ is perfect. Has the damage. Does he? He does. We just needs a little bit more with the Geminate attack. Oh my god, he's hiding in the trees. And now they're going to be able to find the sun that comes back. The time lapse will be there from BZZ. Other side of the fight, they will find the blast going out onto the Centaur Warner. Pasha finding Nyx. Nyx finding him, in fact. And ILTW with the Slider Fist is able to get the grab onto him. Winter's Curse now getting off the disable onto BZZ is perfect. Can he run away before Solo is available with the Fiend's Grip / Nightmare? Yes, he can. BZZ is perfect. Does end up surviving this fight, and miraculously Ramses does not die throughout all of that. It looked like a given that the Terrorblade would be the one that goes down. Instead, he ends up surviving. The Nightmare now does go out onto BZZ as perfect. Oh no, they've got him. The Tornado will be there with the EMP. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. Ramses with the right click gets the kill. And they don't have the Metamorphosis, but they have more than enough damage to head into the Roshan Pit. The Alacrity onto the Terrorblade. And Roche is being taken apart right now. The rest of ESPADA cannot hope to defend this without BZZ being available. He's their lowest net worth hero, but this Swarm providing them a lot of vision in these fights. They kind of need it in order to be able to take these engagements. And they're going to smoke now. But it is a little bit too late. The Roche is about to fall. ILTW, can he find something very early on here? They get the steering chains onto 2, the Winter Waven as well as the Invoker. But the Sentry Wall is being laid out effectively everywhere, closing off any options for an approach through these zones. And Ramses also gets life back by sundering Pasha. They don't want to take any risks that they just lose this Aegis off the bat. And he's going to have a full Skadi now as well on the Terrorblade. Jesus Christ, he's farmed. He has the same amount of net worth as Weaver and Pugna combined right now. That's kind of crazy. About to crack level 20 as well. Yo, guys, that reflection cooldown is no joke. Although in this game, the reflection isn't that big a deal. I mean, it's great against Weaver, I suppose. But against the other heroes involved in this game, doesn't really matter too much if the reflection is on board. I think the plus 10 stats can do quite well as well. And Ramses might be the one in the line of fire right now. Gets nightmared up by the stolen one from Immersion. On the backside, Nyx with ILTW. They're looking towards Pasha and the boys. They've laid down another ward. Okay, Immersion gets eviscerated by Ramses inside the Metamorphosis mode. And now Stampede. They are running forward. They want to find somebody. The TP away from ILTW is there already. Nyx though gets Fiend's Gripped. Now they've got him, definitely. Pasha's going to close the gap. Hoofstomp will be there with the double edge. Easy kill. Now this tier 2 tower. Backdoor protection notwithstanding. Was still going to get destroyed, but now that it's back offline even faster. BZZ, uh-oh. Nightmare onto him. Afro Ninja, they've got him inside the ice wall. The time lapse will be there from BZZ is perfect. But the Sakuchi 1 second away before he can get himself out of trouble. Winter's Curse will hold him in position for just a little bit longer. Just long enough for the Hoofstomp and the double edge. And they will be able to find the kill onto BZZ is perfect. Pasha picking up that one. In the meantime, Ramses does give up his Aegis of the Immortal to get the life of the Rubik as well as taking down the tier 3 tower. He's falling a little bit low fighting on the high ground here. He still does have the BKB as well as the Sunder. EMP combination will go out onto ILTW. ILTW will dodge the EMP with a sleight of fist, but he'll still lose his life at the end of the day. Ramsey's looking towards getting Misha. Sunders him just to keep on track. And it looks like this game's just over. 30 minutes in. And ESPADA have called GG. The Stampede will be there from Pasha looking to hook stop somebody. Will not be able to find it. But instead, they will be able to find the entirety of the tournament. Team Russia. VP minus no one plus Afo Ninja will be able to take this victory. They have secured their position, their spot at the WESG LAN finals themselves. And they did it in style, taking down ESPADA 3-0 here in these grand finals. Undoubtedly, they are the best Russian team. Everybody knew this coming into the event, but now they just solidify that fact with a stellar performance coming out from them. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for this best of 3 series. This has been Team Russia, you know, putting the work out, showing Team ESPADA exactly how it's done, and getting themselves into WESG. And we'll be looking to see if they can continue the same kind of momentum going into that tournament itself, and whether or not they look this hot the whole way through. If they do look this hot, then it seems like they actually have a really good shot of winning the whole damn thing. But that's later on. That is a full LAN, and that'll be down the line. So for now, thanks for joining us. This was me, Snare, casting Team Russia versus Team ESPADA in the WESG Russian qualifiers. Russia has a team named Team Russia, almost like they knew in advance. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. These are your winners, your champions, 3-0 up. Congratulate them, you know, send them some shout outs. Say hi, like and follow the channel. And for me, for now, I'm done. And that was it.